Hey guys, it's Carl Brown from GL365 Academy. Today we're going to continue our look at Over the Hills and Far Away by Led Zeppelin. So we're going to take care of all the rest of the guitar parts except for the solo, which will be in the next lesson. So we've already taken care of all the acoustic intro, and now it's pretty much the electric guitar parts. So whenever there's kind of acoustic guitar layering, since the acoustic goes through it too, I'll let you know what's going on that too, if it's anything any different than you've already played in the first video. So let's start here, still in standard tuning here. We're going to start with this G power chord. So it's a G power chord, so you're going to be muting the A string there with the bottom of your middle finger to a D, and then hit the D again to an A. Really just power chord versions of those, so you don't have to hit this top note or the second string on the A chord. And then we're to this power chord here at the 3rd fret on the low E string. So you kind of, so the idea here is to keep a momentum down, up, down, up. And then you kind of mute the strings in between the chord head. And we come over to this A power chord. And then you're going to pull off, hit the 2 strings together and pull off 4 to 2 on that D string. And back to that power chord. And then back to the big open chords. So all together. Now the second time through, instead of going to the big chords, we do this. And then back to those chords. So that's this open A string, kind of muted, then 0, 2, 0. And then we're going to play 5, 5, 2, 5, and then a bend on the 5. And then the second time through, you're going to move that bend. Everything's the same except you move the bend over to the 5th string. I mean, the 6th string. So we have this. And then back to that. Now over this part, you had this. So that's just being played on the acoustic. So that's just, it's like a D major chord, but at the 9th fret. Make sure you get the open D in there, and then down to the 7th fret. Back to the all right, so that's pretty much the verse here. Now, for the only other part we have, the main part we have, is the part that's underneath the solo. That's for the rhythm guitar part of the solo. So let me play that for you real quick. It's a little bit quicker riff. Then I'll show you how to play it. Here we go. All right, so that riff is actually played 8 times instead of twice, but I'm just trying to shorten it up for this video because it just repeats. So we're going to start here. That same D major shape now at the 6th fret, down, up, then to the 4th, and then back to the 6th. All right, now we're just on the D and the G strings together. You can play the 4th fret on both of those, then the 2nd fret on both. So you do that 4-2, 4-2, back to 4, slide up to 6 and back down to 4. Then the 2s again, and then over to the 4s on the A and the D string. One more time. All right, and then back to the same opening chord sequence. All right, and now the second time through, we're going to end it with this. So we had this 4-2, 4-2, those 2 double stops. And then you're going to hammer 2 to 3 on the G. And then you hit that open high E string. Now make sure you mute the B string. So it doesn't sound like that because those 2 notes clash. So we have this. And then just repeat. So you do that 8 times, and then the very last time when you do the hammer from 2 to 3, instead of hitting the high E string, you come back and grab this note. Now that note is the beginning of that little ascending harmony sequence. All right, so what's going on there? 3 times here at the 1st fret on the A string, and then 4, and then 2 on the D, and then 1 on the G. Now the same rhythmic figure, you're going to be 3rd fret on the G, played 3 times, and then 6th fret on, and then 5 on the B. So we have this. All right, and then you're going to jump up here to the 11th fret on the B. Same figure, you have 3 times for the first note. And then 9 on the high E, 12, 16, and then 18. And it goes into that kind of thing, and then back to. These riffs are actually very fun to play. You just play them all day. Now we have a little outro riff that happens. So let me just play through that real quick, and then we'll be done. Here we go. All right, so it just kind of rotates between the G and the D chord. So we're going to start here. The little lick that happens between the chords are 3rd fret twice on the low E's, and then open A, hammer on 2, pull back off to A. So pull back off to the open string. So we have this. And then come over to the D, pull off 2 to 0, and then 2 to 0 on the A. So we have this. And then you hit a D chord, and then do the lick again. And then that G power chord, and just rotate between the 2 chords by doing that little lick in between each one. I actually pick the open A and then pull off 2 to 0, pick 2 and pull off, and then 2 0 and back 2 0 on the A. Make sure you keep those bottom notes muted. All right, so stay tuned for the solo video. We're going to tackle the entire guitar solo. I'll see you then.